Okay, hello everybody. I'm First Alert Meteorologist Rodney Harris with an update here on the severe weather event that we are forecasting in North Georgia over the upcoming weekend. Just want to remind everybody, Saturday night into Sunday morning, that will be the primary event. We want to make sure that you are covered and ready to rock and roll. I'll say this a lot during this update, but make sure and download the First Alert Weather app. You can see that here on your screen. You should be able to see that on your screen. And that way you can get the updates here to your phone as this severe weather is moving in. In fact, what I'll do here is I'll switch this over, and this is how our First Alert Weather app looks. So download that app. Make sure you're ready to rock and roll. We'll be giving you a lot of reminders here throughout the course of the day to make sure that you know in advance that we have this weather moving in. Today's going to be a good day, but tomorrow is the day that we're definitely watching for that inclement weather. So we have two separate events on Saturday that I want to walk you through, two different events. The first will be in the morning, and then the second will be in the afternoon. So you're going to have to sort of have your guard up two separate times. I want to bring up my forecast model full so you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. So the first round of showers and storms will actually happen on Saturday morning around 7 o'clock. We'll have showers and storms from Ellijay to Rome and maybe as far south as Carrollton. Even if you're in Atlanta and northwest of Atlanta, basically north and west of I-85, some showers and storms will be possible for you on Saturday morning, continuing up until at least lunchtime, especially up there in the higher elevations of the North Georgia mountains. So this is zone 1. This is the first little wave of rain. And what you see in green, that is a low-end risk of a severe storm. So even Saturday morning, we can't rule out an isolated severe storm with some wind and even an isolated tornado. We think that threat, though, in the morning would be mainly confined to far northwest Georgia. We don't think that's going to include metro Atlanta. So Rome and north of Rome, you have the highest chance of seeing an isolated severe storm Saturday morning. The threat is lower Saturday morning, but we do want you to know that that will be possible. So that's round 1. Now let's walk you through the rest of the day. From noon until 3 o'clock, we really dry out. So outside of the mountains, in metro Atlanta, it should be dry Saturday afternoon. So if you have any plans Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, there's really no rain. You're going to see some sunshine, especially south of I-20. This is Saturday afternoon going into Saturday evening. Now, the second round and the main round of showers and storms are moving in Saturday night. 9 o'clock, these storms will start to move into West Georgia. I know this doesn't look that impressive on our forecast map, but these are actually the discrete cells that we'll be worried about. What I mean by discrete is when you have a storm that's kind of by itself, those are the storms that could become supercells producing significant tornadoes. So even though that doesn't look impressive, that's what we're going to be watching for, these discrete cells that will be moving into far west Georgia by 9 p.m. So Rome, Carrollton, LaGrange, you'll be on deck for the main event by 9 o'clock. And those showers and storms will gradually move eastward and into metro Atlanta between midnight and 1 a.m. Sunday. So by 1 o'clock on Sunday morning, metro Atlanta will be in the worst of these storms. And again, notice how, so like normally it's just one solid line that moves through with a lot of wind, but this is sort of a line, but there's a lot of little discrete cells in here. So once again, it's the discrete cells that we're concerned about because it's easier for these things to spin, which is why your tornado risk will be there Sunday morning. This is when the biggest risk for severe weather will exist, 1 a.m. Sunday morning, Tuesday a.m., or 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. on Sunday morning. This is the worst of it across metro Atlanta and North Georgia. Now, by 5 a.m., the rain is starting to move out. So at 6 o'clock on Sunday morning, the showers and storms will be out of metro Atlanta, certainly by 7 a.m. So if you have anything to do after 6 a.m. on Sunday, it will be mostly dry. Before 6 a.m., we will still have showers and storms out there. And if you have any plans on Sunday afternoon, will certainly be dry. So this is the severe weather outlook for Saturday night going into Sunday morning. And as you can see, that orange is a level 3 risk. We're not under level 3 risk often, but almost all of North Georgia is in a level 3 risk for severe storms on Saturday night going into Sunday morning. For metro Atlanta, that'll start between midnight and 1 a.m. on Sunday. We have a lot of level 2 risk, which you see in yellow. That's basically the entire summer for us in spring. But that level 3 risk is a little bit more rare, but we are currently under a level 3 risk Saturday night going into Sunday morning for showers and storms that will be over North Georgia. So this will be the worst of the entire event early on Sunday morning. I wanted to show you a parameter that we use. This is basically a look at the risk of tornadoes. And we're going to start this at noon Saturday. As you can see, there's really not much happening at noon. As we take you, though, into the nighttime, notice those yellows and reds starting to move into far west Georgia. This is what we mean when we say that threat really increases Saturday night going into Sunday. And I showed you the forecast model. And I remember I said those storms didn't look that impressive, but it's going to be tapping into that energy, that yellow and the red and even the pink that you see that'll be moving into West Georgia. So this is where you can see your significant tornadoes developing as this activity comes out of Alabama and into West Georgia. This is 10 o'clock Saturday night. And then 1 o'clock in the morning, these storms are right over Atlanta. Look at all that energy that's over Atlanta. This is our biggest concern. We certainly do believe that we'll see damaging winds. But not only tornadoes, but like strong tornadoes will be possible on Sunday morning because of that energy that's going to be right over us at 1 a.m. And then that'll start to move east of us by 5 o'clock. So it's unfortunate, but the biggest risk, the largest risk, the highest impact for these storms will definitely be Sunday morning while you are asleep. So that's another reason why it's important to download our First Alert Weather app. I want to just talk quickly about tornado safety. We do this during tornado warnings, but we want to make sure you know before the storms move in. So we talk about this a lot. Basically, what you see in green, that's where you want to be if you are in a tornado warning. What you see in red is where you don't want to be. Basically, the interior part of your house, that's where you want to be during a tornado warning. You want to try to stay away from a room that has windows. So a hallway, stairs, a closet, or a bathroom, particularly one without windows, that's the best place to be. The problem with windows is that they easily break and the glass breaks when these tornadoes move through, and that is one of the bigger risks, is flying glass and flying debris. So that's why we always ask you to stay away from windows. The interior part of your house, if possible, without windows. Obviously, you don't want to be out on your deck. A basement is also a great place to be. I know that everybody doesn't have a basement, but if you do, that's the best place to be. And even if you don't have a basement, the lowest level of your home, best place to be. If you're in an apartment complex, talk to your neighbor today downstairs. You want to be downstairs, the lowest level of your home. That is the place to be. Definitely not the outer part of your home. So that's just a little tornado safety that you can reference before the storms even move in, because sometimes those tornado warnings are issued and it's go time, right? So we want to make sure that you have that information in advance. All right, if you're driving this weekend, this is also important because both Saturday and Sunday are first alerts, but it's not a complete washout. So there will be times throughout the weekend where it'll be okay for you to drive. So Saturday morning, I think you'll be fine. Use caution if you're northwest of I-85. Remember, we're going to have those showers and even some storms out there Saturday morning, but that's mainly northwest of I-85. So that's where you'll want to use caution. Even if you see those showers and isolated storms Saturday morning, I don't think it's that big of a deal to where you can't drive. So just use caution in the morning. Again, that's northwest of I-85. Saturday afternoon, you're good to go. If you're in Metro Atlanta, you will be good to drive Saturday afternoon because we believe there will be a break then. And then Saturday night, we don't want you to drive after midnight, so this is really going into Sunday morning. Now, most of us are at home anyway, but just in case you're not, if you had plans to be out Saturday night, after midnight in Metro Atlanta, you don't want to be on the roads. And then Sunday morning, you don't want to drive before 5 a.m. So if you're getting out the door after 5 a.m. to go to church or do whatever you have to do, you'll be fine. But before 5 a.m., you want to avoid being on the roads. This is specifically for Metro Atlanta. So, again, I thought this was important because both days, Saturday and Sunday, are first alerts, but they're not washouts. So those are the times you can drive and not drive based on when we are forecasting those storms to move in. I'm going to go back one more time before we let you go and take you to the forecast model again, just to give you an idea of what to expect. Remember to download that First Alert Weather app. So, again, Saturday morning, this is around 7 o'clock, northwest of Atlanta. That's where we are seeing the showers and even some storms. This is our first round of showers and storms early on Saturday. And then that'll move out, and we get our break Saturday afternoon. So Saturday afternoon, you'll be fine. And then Saturday night is when the second round, the main event, is moving in between 8 and 9, West Georgia, from Rome to Carrollton to LaGrange. You have the highest chance of seeing some pretty strong storms, including tornadoes, by 9 o'clock. And then all that will start to move east and toward Metro Atlanta between midnight, 1 a.m. going into Sunday, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. Strong storms over Metro Atlanta. That is all out of here after 5 a.m. And as most of you get out the door on Sunday morning, we are forecasting it to be dry. Damaging winds, the primary threat. Tornadoes, also a primary threat. It's not often that we say tornadoes are a primary threat, but we do believe the parameters are high enough to where we will see some tornado warnings. Even some hail will be possible on Sunday morning, early on Sunday morning. We had hail yesterday. Usually when we have this stuff moving in during the overnight hours, hail is not a concern because you don't really have that heating, but there could be some small hail early on Sunday as well. We do believe we'll see like 2 to 3 inches of rain from this, but the rain is falling in the middle of the night, so we're not really forecasting a lot of street flooding because we actually don't anticipate you being on the road, and by the time most of you get out and about on Sunday, the rain will be over. So yes, we are forecasting quite a bit of rain overnight, but it'll be while most of you are at home. And lightning will also be a risk. Lightning, you're going to hear some thunder, so the kids, the pets, if they don't like that thunder, we are forecasting that on Sunday morning, Saturday night going into Sunday as well. So that's a look at your forecast. That is kind of an overview of what to expect. Your entire First Alert Weather team, we're all here. We're all keeping you up to date around the clock. Today's fine, so we're in the upper 70s later on this afternoon. You can get out there and enjoy your day and just make sure that you're prepared. Make sure you download First Alert Weather app, but the activity really doesn't start until tomorrow. And we will be here throughout the entire event, keeping you up to date right here on Atlanta News First Plus, also on Atlanta News First. You're watching us on the TV, in the First Alert Weather app, and First Alert Meteorologist Courtney Jacobazi. Let's see, it's 11:12 right now. She's preparing your forecast as we speak. We just got some new model data in since this morning, so she'll show you that new model data, basically what I'm showing you this here. She'll show you that on Atlanta News First at noon. You guys have a great Friday. Stay safe this weekend, and until next time, we'll see you soon.